And hello everybody, welcome on back to another episode of Phoenix Wright, and I'm picking right back up where I left off. Honestly, depending on how this goes, it might be a separate episode, it might all be in one, but we'll see how this final day of the trial takes. October 20th, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 4. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Today will be the final day of this trial. I hope both the prosecution and the defense will be able to present decisive evidence. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement. In yesterday's session, the defense presented us with a new theory for this case. He claims that the scene of the crime was, in fact, Studio 2. Today, I will call on people present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. From their testimonies, the truth will become clear. Very well. Edgeworth seems a bit on edge today. Oh, Phoenix. You may call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls Miss D. Vasquez to the stand. Miss D. Vasquez is a producer who was present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. Alright. Will the witness state her name and occupation? D. Vasquez. I am a producer for Global Studios. On the day of the murder... you were in the trailer in Studio 2. As everyone here knows, yes? I dislike needless banter. If you must pontificate, do it when I'm not here. Ooh, he's having a hell of a time overall. Old bag was screwing him over, the kid was giving it to him. He's just... he cannot get anyone to be, like, on the same page. Very well, Miss Vasquez. Please give the court your testimony concerning the day of the murder. Nick, I know she did it. Make her pay. Right. She's guilty. I'll catch her with her pants down, so to speak. Come on. Come on, buddy. Sometimes you gotta think. I entered the trailer, a little before noon. The meeting began at 12 sharp. It ended at 4. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. We found Hammer's body later when we all went to Studio 1. That's all. I have a question about one part of your testimony. You were fatigued, so you had Sal take you? The van. There's a van at Studio 2. I had him take me in that. I thought it might be risky to walk with that monkey's head toppling over. Ah, okay. I see. Very well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. This is a final battle, Nick. Let's do it. Okay. Alright, what are you... Into the trailer a little before noon, began at 12, ended at 4. Well, the time of death was 2:30, right? I always remember that because it's the best time to go to the dentist. Okay. So afterwards, went to Studio 1, I was fatigued. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. So, it's mistakes in the trailer. I wish she'd said a little more. It's hard, I think she's pretty used to being the boss. I'm sure they'll find some kind of contradiction in what she said somewhere. And what were you doing during that time? Don't... Don't hit your desk. It irritates me. Yeah, Mr. Wright. Oops. It was a 15-minute break. Okay. Alright. What all do we have? So 230, gonna get killed. That's that. Murder weapon. So... The 230 is like a 15-minute break in the meeting. Because the main thing I would originally jump to is if this was blocking the scene, or blocked the path, how did they take the van? Let's see. No. Yeah, no. Okay. Okay. Let's do the classic strategy of pressing every single thing, and then we'll see what she says. Alright. By yourself? Yes. And you didn't stop in at the employee area? No. Are you always this terse? Yes. Oh dear. Alright. It's began at 12 and ended at 4. Did no one leave during the meeting? No one. Come on, let's talk a bit more about that. The witness did not come here to engage in idle conversation. Stop interrupting the testimony. The same could be said to you, Mr. Edgeworth. And please stop banging on your little desk. It hurts my ears. Rehearsals went to Studio 1. And when exactly was that? I forgot. Cool. Great, thanks. Maybe you could try remembering? No. The meeting ended at 4 and the rehearsal was scheduled for 5. I would think it was between those times. You would think? Come on, all you did was state the obvious, Edgeworth. Miss Fatigue. Hold on. You had Sal take you? What does that mean? It means what I just said. I had Sal take me in the Studio 2 van. Oh, alright. She did clear up. Did that. Needed to go mistakes. Do you have someone who can verify this? Sal? No, I mean someone else. One person is enough. If she committed murder during that break, she wouldn't have had time to eat a T-bone steak. I don't know, it was like, some people can multitask pretty well. There's evidence that proved that she didn't eat that steak. Well, Nick, find anything? I kinda wish... Okay. Alright, so it's gotta be with... the steak. But we didn't test that one, so I was like, I feel like that would... the sleeping pills would be such a... like, small... thing? But also, it was like... I think it might be this. Yes. Ha! As I thought. You claim you ate a T-bone steak. But I say you did not. What's this now, Mr. Wright? Look at this. It's a plate. This plate was on the table in the employee area. As you can see, a large bone has been left behind. Mr. Wright, need I remind you it was a T-bone steak? Exactly my point. Remember, if you will, Ms. Vasquez and Mr. Manila ate at a table outside the trailer. Yet, there were no bones left on the plates. The plates were bare. Ms. Vasquez? Tell me, how can a person eat a T-bone steak and not leave the bone? I think I know how. I was like, you ate the bone too. Well, it's anybody remember the I think it was the Popeyes commercials where they started introducing the boneless chicken and it was just, or no, it was KFC maybe. I need to double check this, but this specific commercial was just like, I ate the bones and it's just people freaking out. You didn't eat the steak. You didn't eat any steak during that break. You took your steak and threw it somewhere like that incinerator. I see. Then what was Miss Vasquez doing during her break? Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? Meeting the Steel Samurai. She was meeting with the Steel Samurai. Order. Are you saying... Yes, Your Honor. As Miss Vasquez left the trailer to eat her steak, she ran into the Steel Samurai, and then you did it. You killed him with your own hands. Mr. Wright, isn't that a little presumptuous? What kind of stunt are you trying to pull, Wright? Let him claim what he wants. You say I did it? Yes. Fascinating. But here I was worrying that today would be as boring as all the rest. Very well. Let us have a battle of wits, you and I. Any day, Vasquez. Good luck, Nick. Thanks, I will need it. Let's see. What was that murder weapon again? Oh yes, the samurai spear. Yes? I am, as you can see, a woman of petite stature. How could I possibly use that heavy spear as a weapon? I think you would have a great deal of difficulty using that as a weapon. Pretty much anyone would. Huh. You see? Yes. However, that has no bearing on this case. Meaning? The samurai spear was not the murder weapon. What? What is the meaning of this? The spear was found lying next to the victim's body. I have proof, Your Honor. I can prove that the samurai spear was not used as the murder weapon. Wrong, Mr. Wright. But I haven't said anything yet. I know well enough right now that you're going to use... I can sense it too with my fey blood. Okay, so I picked the wrong evidence. Right, okay, here's the real evidence I can prove. Okay, alright. I guess is it the actual spear itself and it's just going to be the duct tape? Okay. Okay. I think I might have been jumping the gun, but I'm like, I have a feeling that it's going to be a similar type deal. I present my proof, the so-called murder weapon. But that is the murder weapon. Not so fast. Remember that the spear broke during the morning action scene run-through? But someone fixed the spear. It was the security lady. She fixed it with duct tape. Now tell me, how is it possible for someone to stab a man who is wearing a thick costume with this through the chest? Order, order? Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? Think about what you're... Silence. I am the one testifying here, and I will be heard. Oof, he's just... He really cannot catch a break. Are you quite sane? Are you even aware of... Oh. Are you even aware of what you're saying? If the samurai spear was not the murder weapon, then pray tell what was. How was Hammer killed? Well, Mr. Wright, can you tell us that what weapon was used to kill Mr. Hammer? I can tell you. Would I make a claim like that if I couldn't tell you what the weapon was? I'm afraid your confidence can sometimes be unfounded, Mr. Wright. Very well, let's see this murder weapon then. Also, the unfounded confidence, that's the club motto around here. Okay, so I was jumping the gun. Look at this photo. What is this? Why, that's Jack Hammer standing at the top of the stairs. Order, order. If I cannot have order, this trial will be suspended. Mr. Wright? What is this all about? This photograph is from 5 years ago. There was an unfortunate accident at Global Studios. This is a photo of that very accident. Not a word of this was leaked to the outside. It was a close-kept secret at the studios. What does this have to do with the current case? Mr. Edgeworth, you still can't see it? See the fallen man in this photo? See how the fence post pierced him through the chest? What? Are you saying... Yes. What happened 5 years ago? Has happened again. I mean, everything comes full circle, you know? Mr. Wright, continue. It's 2:30 p.m. on the day of the murder. Miss D. Vasquez meets Jack Hammer outside of the Studio 2 trailer. Then, she did it. She pushed Mr. Hammer off the stairs onto the fence. Just like Mr. Hammer had done himself, or had himself done 5 years ago. Though whether she did it on purpose or by accident, I cannot say. In other words, the victim, Mr. Hammer, he died in the same way that he caused another man to die? 5 years ago? Precisely. Ironic, isn't it? Oh, very creative, Mr. Wright. I could use a man like you on my script writing staff. Do you deny that what I say is true? Mr. Wright, let's say, for the sake of argument, that Hammer died at the trailer as you say. Yet, the body was found at Studio 1, was it not? And an evil magistrate costume, no less. Are you claiming that I carried the body to Studio 1 and returned to the trailer all in the space of a 15-minute break? How could I have disposed of the body? The break in the meeting at the trailer lasted 15 minutes, from 2:30 to 2:45. Could Jack Hammer have been pushed off the stairs to his death, then carried to Studio 1 and placed inside his costume? There wasn't enough time. Indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, how could she have dealt with the body? She had another way. What if she had another way to carry the body, other than with her own hands? For instance? Actually, for that matter, there was no need for her to do the deed in 15 minutes. And there was a way for you to carry that body. Interesting. Let's hear it then. Mr. Wright, please show us how she carried the body. And see, it's gotta be the van. Ms. Vasquez, you carried the body to Studio 1. And you used the studio van to do it. Let's go. Really feel like I'm doing well with this one. I'm proud of myself for once. Recall your testimony. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. There's a van there, right? I had Sal drive me. You used the van to carry the body to Studio 1. Then, before everyone else got there, you put the body in the magistrate costume. Hold on, Wright. Don't forget, it was Sal Manella that drove the van. Are you suggesting that Mr. Manella was a conspirator? Of course he was. Of course Sal Manella has to have been a conspirator. The body had to be placed in the van and put into the costume. There's no way Miss Vasquez could have done that alone. Also, don't forget that they had to dispose of the Steel Samurai costume. They had to, because it was covered in Mr. Hammer's blood. They probably burned it in the small incinerator. Well, Miss Vasquez? Shall I continue? No need. You're smarter than you look, Mr. Wright. I lose, you win. It was fun. I win? We love this stunned silence from everyone. So what happens next? Don't don't question mark me. Don't you have anything to say? What would you like me to say? Huh? I lost? Something like that? I just said that. Wait, so you mean D. Vasquez, so it was you. You killed Jack Hammer? Who can say? Huh? Are you sure I did? Mr. Wright? We just engaged in a battle of wits. And the result of that battle, you proved the possibility that I murdered Hammer. Right. But that is only a possibility. Proof is another thing altogether. You lack decisive proof, Mr. Wright. What? Order? Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Of course it's as the witness says. Certainly, it does seem very likely she did it, but there's no proof. Edgeworth isn't sure? Well, I came here as a witness today. If you've no more questions, I'll be leaving. Rick, what do I do now? You know what? Yeah, no further questions. Yes, Mr. Wright? I was hoping I'd come up with a question while pounding on my desk. I didn't. You have my sympathies. Damn. Damn! Come so far only to fail. Call me Icarus the way I fly too close to the sun. As it seems there are no further questions, I would like to end the cross-examination of the witness, Ms. Vasquez. Edgeworth? Hello? Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I was hoping to come up with a question while I was objecting, Your Honor. I didn't. He really is one of us, huh? I see. Very well. Oh? Your Honor, I request that the witness testify again. You are the prosecutor, are you not? Why are you badgering me? I'm your witness. I just want to hear your testimony again. Does this make any sense to you, Your Honor? I don't see that we have anything to gain by repeating the last several minutes. Mr. Edgeworth, I too see little point in making Miss Vasquez repeat herself. What exactly do you want her to testify about? Well, yes, Indeed, verily, I say, ergo. I want to hear about what happened after they found the body. After they found the body? Very well. Witness will testify to the court concerning this matter. Nick, why did Edgeworth? Who knows? Probably realized she did it too. But, wasn't he the one that said he always gets a guilty verdict? After all that? Edgeworth. See, what I can't wait for is to see, like, more of the background and connection between them and being like, hey, this is why he's like this. Because it does seem like over time that he's gonna change the way that he acts. And this is like the first step for it. I was with Sal and Old Bag, the security lady, when we found the body. The assistant was there too, only Powers was absent. I immediately called the police, then Powers showed up. The security lady pulled back, was quite agitated, pointing at Powers, saying he did it. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. Then, I went home. So that feels like a whole bunch more nothing, but okay. I see no issues raised by this testimony. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. Okay, Nick, we're close. Real close. She may be acting tough now, but if you put her on the spot, she's sure to falter. Find the key you need and twist the truth out of her, Nick. Right. Okay, alright. What time was that? We were to meet at 5 for the rehearsal, so I'd say it was then. When exactly did you and Mr. Manila arrive at the studio? About 10 minutes before. I wasn't stuffing any bodies into costumes, mind you. Where were the other employees when you got to the studio? They weren't there yet. Well, then you could have put Hammer in that costume with Salmonella's help. Oh? What did I just say? Did I not just say I wasn't stuffing any bodies into any costumes? You try to listen to what people are saying, boy. But, boy? The witness will continue her testimony. Okay. Mr. Powers was taking a nap. You could say it was a, Powers nap. So he says. Did no one go to call him? Remember. Remember what? There was a dead body lying in front of us, yet you expect me to be calm? You certainly seemed calm enough when I accused you of murder. Yeah, let's press harder. Wait a second. Wouldn't that be the other way around? The other way around? You discovered a murdered body and one person was missing, right? Wouldn't you normally go looking for the missing person? I have to agree with the defense on this one. Well, Ms. Vasquez? Logically speaking, perhaps. But no one was there, or no one there was thinking very logically, I assure you. Also, without his steel samurai costume, Powers doesn't really stand out. We often left him on the bus when shooting at location. No one noticed he was missing. Poor Powers. Well, I suppose that explains that. Very well, Ms. Vasquez, you may continue. What was everyone else doing at that time? No one said a thing. It was silent. Completely silent. So we stood there until Powers finally arrived on the scene. Sorry, I'm late. Then, silence. Dead silence. Okay. Alright. Really feels like the theme of this story, huh? Silence. Hey Nick. Why's everyone so quiet? Someone should do something to lighten things up. I've got a stand-up routine I could start doing, I guess. The security lady. Old bag was quite agitated. Okay. Old bag. The security lady. Why did the security lady think Powers had done it? She said because she saw him going towards the studio. Right, the Steel Samurai. Did the detective arrest Mr. Powers based solely on the security lady's word? Perhaps not. He seems to also have given the detective that photograph. Of course, I heard all this after the fact. That photograph, meaning the one taken by the security camera. She's not known for exhibiting the best sense of judgment when it comes to Hammer. I don't think there's anything I can use. Okay, so this is pretty sus. You asked to be left out? Yes. It seems that everyone else was questioned. And I'm not really fond of that sort of thing. But you can't just decide who the police will and won't question. Thankfully, the studio thinks otherwise. They were nice enough to understand that since we were in a meeting. There's no way we could have been involved, thus they covered for us. Covered for you? Or covered it up for you? Must have been a lot writing on it with all the bigwigs at that meeting. I'm sure her professionals helped convince everyone they didn't require questioning. Okay. The script in your direction notes? Yes, they're quite valuable. It wouldn't do to have them stolen. No, I guess not. Wait a second. I thought you came to Studio 1 for a rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your script and notes? Well, I was under the impression that we wouldn't be able to rehearse anything. Why? There was a murder after all. Who could think of rehearsing after that? Oh yeah, I guess. No, because you wouldn't have known that there was a murder until after you had gotten there. Very well. Ms. Vasquez, please continue. Your Honor, I have an objection to the witness's last statement. Huh? Think. Ms. Vasquez said she didn't bring the script because there wouldn't be a rehearsal. So you see what that means? She would have had to know about the murder before going to Studio 1. Edgeworth, Thank you. Thank you for realizing what Phoenix apparently was not. Order. Mr. Edgeworth. What you have just said is a reasonable observation. However, I find it hard to understand why the prosecution would make such a move. Or are you thinking of a career change to defense? I appreciate your concern, Your Honor. I will stand by my statement, however, regardless of how the court sees my role here. Now, Ms. Vasquez, you have an explanation? I can't believe Edgeworth is helping me. So the prosecution is in cahoots with the defense? What kind of court is this? No matter. I think you misunderstood me. I had a perfectly good reason to believe there would be no rehearsal. Very well, the witness will change her testimony to reflect this reason. I knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left them behind. Why'd you know he was injured? How'd you know about the injury? How did I know? Sal? He told me. Sal, the director. You have to find something to pack this one on her. Or everything we've done until now will have been wasted. I believe in you, Nick. Go get him. Okay, but... Hold on. I knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left them behind? Why would... Oh wait, why would Hammers have been injured? Hammers wasn't the one injured, it was Powers, right? How do you know about the injury? I literally just pressed on it, but... that doesn't make any sense. If she had said Powers, I would understand, but... Okay. You knew that Hammer was injured? Don't you think that's a little funny? I mean, it was a Steel Samurai who was injured. It was Will Powers. What? Okay. Alright, I'm not going insane. Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Yes, Mr. Hammer is dragging his leg in this photo, but that's because he was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Pretending? One person was injured in a run-through that morning. That person was Mr. Powers, not Mr. Hammer. Now, why did you think it was Mr. Hammer who was injured? I already said that it was Sal who told me. But that's right, he must have gotten it wrong. I think not. Mr. Manila was at the run-through that morning. He would have known it was Mr. Powers who was injured. He saw it happen. Why would he tell you the wrong person? Ms. Vasquez? You saw Hammer limping. Actually, you didn't hear anything from Mr. Manila. You saw Mr. Hammer limping with your own eyes. Yes, but wasn't Mr. Powers who was injured? Yes, but remember, Mr. Hammer was dragging his leg too. He was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Ah, and when was he doing this? Well, it would have to have been after he put on the Steel Samurai costume, and went to Studio 2, where he was murdered. Exactly. Ms. Vasquez, you met him, didn't you? You saw the Steel Samurai limping. And Mr. Hammer was in the Steel Samurai suit. Oh god, is this gonna turn out that she meant to kill... She meant to kill him because she thought it was Powers, and then... I don't know. Hold on. That's why you were confused. That's why you thought it had been Mr. Hammer who had been injured that morning. Order, order, I will have order. Witness? Can you refute this claim? Yeah, let's say you sneak out of this one, Vasquez. Very well. I have a question for you. Oh. Why are the real killers always so persistent? Why in the world would I want Mr. Hammer dead? Yes, he'd fallen on hard times, but he was a star. I had nothing to gain from his death. Nothing. Yes, you would need a motive. Why would she have killed the victim? There is a reason it is unclear to this court. Does the defense have anything to say on the matter? In other words, can you prove she had a motive? Yeah, I can prove it. Okay, I have proof, and I'll show it to you. I present to the court evidence as to Ms. Vasquez's motive in this murder. Is it this? This is my proof. This is the photo from before. This photo reveals the motive in this murder. I'm right, aren't I, Miss Vasquez? 5 years ago, Mr. Hammer was at the height of his fame. With D. Vasquez's help, a terrible accident was swept under the carpet. Ladies and gentlemen, the case currently up for trial. It began on that day 5 years ago. Ironically enough, that accident precipitated Mr. Hammer's fall. His fall from stardom. His guilt weighed down on him, no doubt. However, you, D. Vasquez, used Mr. Hammer. You made him work for you for petty change. Bringing us to the present day, and Mr. Hammer's last role as the evil magistrate. Yes, undoubtedly it was a constant source of shame for the X-Star. One moment, Mr. Wright. We are talking about motives here, yet you've only talked about Mr. Hammer. It almost seems as if Mr. Hammer who had killed D. Vasquez, not the other way around. What motive would... Oh, I accidentally skipped that, but what would she have for... as presumably murdering him? Yes, that's right. According to what you say, I would have had no reason to kill him. He was a good source of income for me. And I never get rid of useful men. It's a policy of mine. Mr. Wright, please explain Ms. Vasquez's motive for murder. Okay. Allow me to present to the court proving Ms. Vasquez's motive. Do I not have anything? I feel like it's gotta be... This is my proof. And this tells us why Ms. Vasquez wanted to kill Mr. Hammer? I'd say it proves that the defense attorney's completely lost his marbles. Nope. Court requests that you find your marbles immediately, and I'm afraid I have to penalize you for this waste of the court's time. Nick, we're so close. Think this one through, please. Mr. Wright, I'll ask you again. Please explain. Is it just she had no motive? She had no motive, Your Honor. What's that now? It was Mr. Hammer who was out for blood. All Miss Vasquez did was push him off the stairs in self-defense. What's that now? It's simple. Mr. Hammer was intending to kill Miss Vasquez. What? What? Your Honor, Jack Hammer drugged Mr. Powers with sleeping pills. Jack Hammer snuck into the dressing room and stole the steel samurai costume. Jack Hammer wore the costume to fool the security lady into thinking he was Powers. Then, Jack Hammer made his way to the trailer. And for what purpose, you ask? To kill Dee Vasquez, who had cruelly taken advantage of him all those years. But... okay. So you did do it, didn't you? Yes. I am guilty. It was me. Someone call an ambulance. There's blood everywhere. We're too late. Miss Vasquez. What? What happened here? Manuel fell from the trailer stairs. Manuel? Manuel! Miss Vasquez, please try to remain calm. No, how could this... It was an accident. Mr. Hammer was doing an action scene and... No, Manuel! Don't touch him, Miss Vasquez. No! Please don't die. Please. Huh. Okay. Congratulations, Mr. Wright. I lose again. To be fair, I was really not expecting that to be the case. Mr. Edgeworth, where's Dee Vasquez? In the waiting lobby, Your Honor, as calm and collected as ever. I see. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? It appears you've brought about yet another miracle. I thank you, Your Honor. I think not, Your Honor. Will Powers was innocent. That he should be found so is only natural, not a miracle. Yes, you're right. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, not guilty. Woo! It's so funny that he's standing like that though, because this dude is like giant and built, but is just like, oh no, just like slightly bent at the knees. And that is all. This court is adjourned. October 20th, 1:12 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 3. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. I'm just glad you're okay. Yes, but it's sad. I know now that Mr. Hammer stole my costume. It's bad enough that he wanted to kill Miss Vasquez, but to think that he tried to frame me for the murder? It makes me sad. Tell me why, Mr. Wright. Huh? Tell me, why did Mr. Hammer want to blame me? Well, this is what I think. Mr. Hammer wanted to put the blame on you because... my guess is... something like this? It's because you were the Steel Samurai. Because I was the Steel Samurai? Mr. Hammer was a big star once, but he was reduced to acting in a kid's show, and as the villain to boot. The kids loved the Steel Samurai, and so he hated you. I think I understand. He could have just told me. I would have changed places with him any time. I think you're missing the point. Thank you. I'm just glad it's over. So am I. So am I. Congratulations, WP! Oh. Thanks to you, I'll be able to don the Steel Samurai outfit once more. Can't wait to get back into that sweaty costume and... Ooh, so about that. Is something wrong? No, of course not. Ah. Nick, Edgeworth. Say something, right? I'm not good at small talk. Huh? What? That was too bad, Edgeworth. You don't waste any time gloating, do you? No, I really want to thank you. Vasquez would have gotten away if he hadn't stepped in. Pleased to meet you. I'm Powers. Sniff. Edgeworth. I'm a big fan of your work, Mr. Powers. Liar. Right. I must say, I hadn't expected to meet you again after all these years. Meet again? However, in retrospect, it would have been better had we not met. Thanks to you, I am saddled with unnecessary feelings. Unnecessary feelings? Yes, unease and uncertainty. Aren't those kind of necessary? They only serve to get in my way. You listen to me, Phoenix Wright. Don't ever show your face in front of me again. That's what I came here to tell you. Man, what a confusing guy. Mr. Wright? Was that guy your friend? What? Friends? As if. They're rivals. Rivals, right, Nick? For now we are, I guess. Huh? Why do I get the feeling I'm missing something? Come on, Nick, tell me. What's the deal with you and Edgeworth? And so the curtain closed on another trial. I was quite disturbed by revealing that accident from 5 years ago. It was the talk of the town. Thankfully, Global Studios rethought its programming change. They went back to making kid shows again. Nick, this is it. The new show starts today. You're gonna watch it with me, right? I'll admit, I was kinda surprised. I didn't think they'd seriously go through with it. You have to buy trading cards too, okay? You have to trade with Cody and that assistant. Fine, I'll do it. Isn't it great that WP gets to play the lead again? I wonder if they'll show his real face this time. I don't know. I don't think the world is ready for the real Will Powers. You know what? I think that was a overall just like very good. Rating episode's been added. I think that was a very good way to kind of wrap that up. Turnabout goodbyes. But it was like overall just kind of well balanced and like very I can't think of the right word for it, but it was like very just well done. Getting everything to wrap up like that and being like, oh cool, there was actually like one thing from a long time ago. And very clearly like Vasquez wasn't great, but compelling motivation in the sense that Hammer did it and Like I said, I was losing my mind on that last one, or that last part of the testimony where I was like, but wait, Hammers wasn't hurt. But with that said, next episode we'll be picking up on episode 4 of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. So thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to subscribe and all that fun jazz, and I will see you in the next one.